So from the top, I would say that the most essential equipment that I use in the kitchen more than anything else is going to be my knife. And I've talked about this a number of different times throughout the show, but having a chef knife that you really like, and it doesn't have to be a $300 knife. I have some. We'll share some links in the program notes here about what some of the equipment that I'm going to be talking about, and just for reference, I'm not endorsing. I'm not paid. We're not paid to endorse anything here. I'm just using some of the things that I've learned, some of the equipment that I've really enjoyed using in my time being in the kitchen. And God knows I've spent a lot of time in the kitchen. But the thing that, like, I'm going to say again is like having a awesome cutting board and a knife that you really like and that does the job really, really well. And with having a knife, you want to always, depending on if it's a $40 or $50 knife or a $300 knife, we want to keep things healthy. We want to keep our tools sharp and ready for use. So one of the things that you're also going to want to use with your chef knife is also to get a kitchen honer. So the kitchen honer doesn't necessarily, again, sharpen the knife, but it cleans it up and it keeps the integrity of the blade intact, and it will keep you from having to get it sharpened probably less frequently. So a quick little rundown of the chef knife and the kitchen honer. So there's a few different ways that you can go about honing the knife. So if I have a kitchen towel, which is also an essential equipment, I'm going to put that knife honer down, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the blade of the knife right to left. So if you get a little bit more advanced, then another thing you could do would be hold it out and then just sort of rotate the blade out as such. And then if you get really good, you can make it look like you're in a horror movie.
Nice, man.
So the knife, the cutting board, and knife honer are I would say is essential equipment. And another little quick thing, why you want kitchen towels around, like if you have a cutting board that doesn't have little rubber stoppers or anything, I like to always have like a damp towel underneath so that the board doesn't slide around on me. So we're talking about the knife and we're talking about the kitchen honer. Do you have any questions, Troy, about a kitchen knife or what someone might be looking for?
Yeah. So walk us through maybe different styles of knife that you would use for different prep. So I imagine maybe you use that same knife that you were just showing us with many or all of your dishes, but I would imagine you could use different styles of knife, or like so walk that through. Like, what would you use that knife for versus a knife for?
That's a great question. So given that we're trying to do less with more, the one knife that I've used more often than not is just a straight up, like, I think this is an 8-inch chef knife. Okay. I think it's called like a katana blade. But I like the point here. So like if last week when we were cutting through chicken bone, like through the chicken carcass, I could use this knife.
Okay.
I don't have to have that deboning knife. Now, if you have the deboning knife, it's kind of a luxury. It's not a necessity.
Yeah.
So another blade that I like to use is one, again, it doesn't have that pointy tip, but this is like a workhorse. If I'm cutting lots of vegetables, doing things for stews, chilies, salads. I really like these flat tipped blades as well. Again, I can do the same with this, but this one's also a really fun knife to have around. And I think the key here is that, like, if you go and invest in I think this knife might be $89. That might, if you go and invest that and you find yourself cooking a lot, that could graduate you into really using different knives for different purposes.
Yeah.
So I think find yourself cooking a lot, and then once you're cooking a lot and you're seeing like, wow, like this knife would be really helpful here, then I would say is when you should go out and buy that set of knives.
Okay.
Another knife that people might really want to have, if they're cutting, breads or whatever, is that serrated type of blade as well. So that helps with, like, I really only use it to like cut bread and I guess you could do, you can't really cut much else with that, in my opinion.
The bread knife. Let's just call it the bread knife.
Just call it the bread knife. So,
hey, a little fun question here. Like, you spend a lot of time in the kitchen, man. So, do you name your utensils? Like, do your knives have names?
That is a great question, and I am such a big fan of the Lord of the Rings, and I love how all of the blades in that series and in that canon have names. But actually, I've never actually named my knife.